In the history books, we celebrate names like Columbus, Da Gama, and Magellan, the great European explorers who discovered the New World. But what if I told you the greatest explorer of all wasn't European? What if he commanded fleets so vast they would dwarf the combined navies of his European contemporaries, and he did it decades before they even set sail? And what if, after achieving all this, history tried to erase him completely? This is the story of the ultimate underdog, the forgotten titan of the seas, Admiral Zheng He. Our story begins not on the high seas, but in the war-torn lands of 14th century Yunnan, China. A young boy named Mahi, born into a Muslim family, has his world shattered. Captured by the ascendant Ming Dynasty's army, he is castrated and sent to serve in the imperial court as a eunuch. In a society that prized family lineage above all, being a eunuch was the lowest of the low. A life of servitude forever denied the chance to have a family of his own. But this boy was different. He was brilliant, towering in stature, and fiercely loyal. He caught the eye of a powerful prince, Zheng He. Mahi became his most trusted advisor, a skilled military strategist who fought by the prince's side in a brutal civil war. When Zheng He triumphed and became the Yongle Emperor, he bestowed upon his faithful servant a new name, Zheng He, and he gave him a mission of unimaginable scale. The emperor, ambitious and eager to project China's power, ordered the construction of a fleet the world had never seen. Not for conquest, but for diplomacy, trade, and to display the unparalleled might and sophistication of the Ming Dynasty. He put the eunuch he trusted above all others in command. This was a stunning choice. An admiral who wasn't from the traditional scholar official class, but a Muslim eunuch from the frontier. The ultimate outsider was now the commander of the grandest naval enterprise in history. Imagine, if you will, the year is 1405. From the shipyards of Nanjing, an armada sets forth. This is not a small collection of ships. We're talking about nearly 300 vessels manned by over 27,000 sailors, soldiers, doctors, and scholars. At the heart of this fleet were the legendary treasure ships, or Baoshuan. These were behemoths, estimated to be over 400 feet long and 160 feet wide. To put that in perspective, Christopher Columbus's flagship, the Santa Maria, was a mere 85 feet long. You could have fit several Santa Marias on the deck of a single treasure ship. These floating cities were packed with China's finest silks, porcelains, and lacquerware, treasures meant to dazzle the world. Over the next 28 years, Zheng He would lead 7 of these epic voyages. His fleet sailed the South China Sea, ventured into the Indian Ocean, and reached the shores of India, the Persian Gulf, and all the way to the coast of Africa. Modern-day Kenya and Somalia, think about that. They were navigating the Horn of Africa decades before Vasco da Gama rounded the Cape of Good Hope. These were not voyages of invasion. When Zheng He arrived, he came bearing gifts, establishing trade relationships, and demanding that foreign rulers acknowledge the supremacy of the Chinese emperor. He fought pirates, installed friendly rulers, and brought back emissaries and exotic wonders to the Ming court. Imagine the scene in Nanjing, ambassadors from dozens of kingdoms arriving, presenting their tribute. And with them, things the Chinese had never seen before. Spices from the Malabar coast, precious gems from Persia, and most famously, a giraffe from Africa, which the court believed was the mythical Killin, a symbol of immense good fortune and divine favor. For a brief, glorious period, China was the undisputed superpower of the maritime world, its influence extending thousands of miles from its shores, all thanks to the eunuch admiral. It was a golden age of exploration, driven not by a lust for gold or territory, but by a desire for global recognition and a stable, ordered world under Chinese influence. But this golden age was not to last. Back in the Forbidden City, political winds were shifting. The Yongle Emperor, Zheng He's patron, died. His successors were far more conservative. The powerful Confucian scholar officials at court had always despised the eunuchs, viewing them as a corrupting influence. They saw Zheng He's voyages as an extravagant and pointless waste of money. What was the value, they argued, in bringing back exotic animals and dealing with distant barbarians when China's true threats were on its northern border? They believed China was the center of the universe, self-sufficient, and had nothing to learn from the outside world. After Zheng He's final voyage and likely his death at sea, this isolationist faction gained complete control. And they didn't just stop the voyages, they tried to wipe them from memory. A new imperial edict was issued, all overseas travel was banned. The magnificent treasure ships were left to rot in their harbors or were destroyed. Most tragically, the official records of Zheng He's voyages, the detailed logs, the star charts, the maps that held the secrets of his incredible journeys, were systematically confiscated and burned. It was a deliberate act of historical amnesia. An entire chapter of global history, a testament to what China had achieved, was intentionally turned to ash. The message was clear: China was turning its back on the sea. This is the great irony of Zheng He's story. The man who led the world's most advanced fleets was cast aside, his legacy erased by his own people. As China withdrew, a power vacuum opened up on the high seas, and just a few decades later, small ships from a corner of Europe began to tentatively explore the African coast. Those explorers, like Da Gama and Columbus, would usher in a new age of European dominance, an age of colonization and conquest. One can only wonder what the world would look like today if China had not abandoned the seas. If the treasure fleets had continued to sail, would the age of discovery have been a Chinese one? For centuries, Zheng He was little more than a whisper in history, a footnote known only to a few scholars. His story survived thanks to a few private accounts and stone tablets he erected on his travels. But today, his legacy is being rediscovered, not just in China, but around the world. He stands as a powerful symbol of what's possible. A story of an underdog who rose from the lowest depths of society to command the world's greatest fleet. It's a testament to a different kind of exploration, one based on projecting soft power and establishing trade, not just conquest. His story is a powerful reminder that history is written by the victors, and sometimes the most important stories are the ones someone tried to burn. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey into the past. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button, subscribe for more forgotten histories, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next adventure. Let me know in the comments what you think. What is the most amazing part of Zheng He's story to you? Until next time, keep exploring.